Hey guys, Indigo here, coming at you with round one of the 5v5 Grand Arena that's going on right now. This is season 10. When I went to go check my Grand Arena, my opponent had already started attacking right away. Took a squad out in the north, took a squad out in the south. One of those was my Jedi Revan team, and he did them both in one shot. So he set some kind of tricky teams because I had the edge in that I had a Darth Revan and he did not. So I guess he tried to trip me up with some tricks and just odd team comps that you don't usually put down. So I'm going to show y'all just how things went, because this was kind of a puzzler. I mean, it was an interesting match. So I'm glad to show you guys these. These were definitely something, not just the standard blah, 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 same old stuff that you always get. So let's check it out. Okay, first up, he's got in his north, he's got a Separatist team with a Dooku lead, but he does have Darkside Bastilla in there. Then he's got a General Grievous team with some droids. He's got a Jawa Engineer in there that's effectively 293 speed. So I know what he's trying to do is just that I'll go in with something half-assed and Jawa Engineer will go first, speed up all the droids, and they'll take off protection or health or kill somebody. So you got to check your opponent's mods and stuff, guys. Don't just say, oh, that team looks easy. I'll just throw my Wigs Rebels at it and be done. You know, you got to check out the stats, because in every team he's got like a trick character or something that's designed to throw you off. So you got to, really do your homework. So let's get into his north section and I'll show you guys how I mowed that down. First up is his Separatist team. I know my troopers are pretty fast. My Stark was going to go before his Jawa Engineer did. So as soon as Stark goes and buffs up the team, then Range goes, buffs him up even more, and by then it's good night for him. So his droids were weak. Without Jawa Engineer to kind of fuel the turn meter and get them all going, there's nothing they could do. But I hadn't fought droids much before, so I did go ahead and use my Death Trooper there just to help increase cooldowns and all that. Probably wasn't needed, but there you go. 60 banners for that one. So good enough for me. Next up, we got his Separatist team. I figured might as well go ahead and use my JTR team, put R2 in there with it, because nothing stops that evasion like some good old burning. That's how we used to stop the Zal teams back in the day, so it's good enough for that. It's good enough for this. And I get so much turn meter going for from the exposes and everything. I figured I should be able to take out the Darkside Bastilla, because she's the one that's a pain with her corrupted battle meditation and throwing buffs on debuffs on everybody. So get rid of her, and then the rest of them are just pretty weak. There's nothing they're going to do to me. So you can see that she's stunned. JTR's just doing her thing, keeps going and doing what she does and waiting for that Illuminated Destiny on BB-8 to go off whenever that's going to be ready. And you see I just knock them out, work on one after another, try and get some, health down. Royal Guard's a little bit of a pain just because he gets that taunt whenever you're not ready and makes you take your focus off the character you're working on, but he's already gone. Sidious is down. Now it's just Dooku and Sith Trooper, and on their own, Dooku can be a pain with his counters, but he can't really do anything when it's just him. So it's all a trick team predicated on one specific device, basically. And once you get rid of that, the rest of the team will topple like dominoes. And so that's what it is. All the taunts and taking the focus off of Darkside Bastilla and everything is just to make you lose some focus and lose some banners. I don't fall for that. 60 banners on my part. So done with that one. And we'll move on to the next thing. You can see this north 1 zone is cleared. I'll show you guys what he's gotten back there. He's got waiting for me a first order team, which is fine. I have a counter for that. And then a Nightsister team. He's got a fully geared Spirit in there. So I'll show you guys how that goes down. That one was a bit tough. This is his south. He's got some Kira Scoundrels in there. And then he's got a Django lead on his Bounty Hunters. And this was something that made me think. And this is something you have to pay attention to, because you don't use your standard counter team that you would use for your Bosk Bounty Hunters. If you check, Django lead gave plus 30 speed to all his Bounty Hunters. Well, his Django was like 270 something. His Bosk was 289. Everyone else was like 250 plus. They were all going to go before I would ever get a turn. So you got to take that into account and think, well, they're not going to be as stout defense-wise, and they're not going to heal as much, but they're all going to get to go before I do if I don't use the correct team. So here it goes. This is what having the advantage on my part with the Darth Revan did for me. It was like, he wants to go fast. I got fast. So I threw EP lead with Darth Revan, HK, Darkside Bastilla, and then Sith Trooper just for a pre-taunt, kind of auto-taunt, take some of the heat while everybody else gets to working. And under EP lead, I'm sure y'all have seen in Arena, once the debuff train starts going, it's all turn meters soaking in and powering up your team there. I normally don't use HK in that team, but I had him, and he does some decent damage, and I don't really have a team yet otherwise that I would use him for, so why not? So this pretty much negates all of his speed. You can see it's a perfect counter for something like this if you happen to have it, because once that EP lead gets going, you're getting more turn meter than he'll ever get, even with his high speeds. So it completely cancels out his strategy of what he was planning, hoping that his team would do. Already, he barely got to go, and he's down to his last man standing. So, done with that team. 57 banners, not too bad. Move on to the Kira Scoundrel team. I went ahead and threw in my CLS with Chewie and Han, and then I put Chirrut and Baze. Didn't really feel the need to use C-3PO here, and I had used R2 with my JTR squad, but it's not necessary. Chirrut's good because he's got the heal, and he can put tenacity up if it's needed. So that's good, and it gives, Baze being able to act as the tank and take some of the focus and some of the damage is nice. So other than that, CLS is pretty powerful for this team. Once you can get Vandor out of the way and then start putting in work on L3, those two are the ones that are going to cause you the most problems. But you can see I snuck in and got Kira whenever there was a chance. Now it's just down to Lando, and he can't do anything. He's done. So, good enough for that one. On to the next one. I'll show you guys what he's got in his back zone here, what's waiting for me. He's got an Old Ben Evasion team back there with just his leftover Jedi. He kept his Jedi Revan team for offense. That's probably how he took out my Jedi Revan team in one shot. And he didn't know if I would have Darth Revan in the back, so I assumed that he would keep that. So here we go, back to the north in the back section there. I went ahead and used my own first order versus his first order because mine are in much better shape, and I know exactly how it's going to play out when it's, a mirror match. I know how mine are. He's got decent stuff, but you got the advantage when you're not the AI and you get to control the actions and what you're going to do. the AI usually plays pretty dumb. So if you're going mirror match, you definitely have the upper hand. So you know how that works. You just start off, try and get the numbers advantage, take one out, take another out. Now it's down to just the two Kylos and the Executioner. So work on Executioner because he's the biggest damage dealer. You want to get him out as soon as you can so you don't have to worry about him. Keep Crew stunned so that he can't stun you. And I got the other Kylo stunned as well so he can't do anything. And just keep feeding my team turn meter. Stun Crew again. Go to work on Kylo. His protection's gone. He gains a little bit of it back, but not enough to do anything with. So there he goes. And here's about to go Crew. He's done. 59 banners. I'll take that all day, every day. The last team he's got waiting for me and back is that Nightsister team. But at this point, I have a lot of firepower left, so I wasn't too worried about it. But check this out, guys. This blew my mind. Seriously, this was crazy. Normally, I don't have a problem, right? I got Traya, and then Darth Nihilus. I got Scion. I got my Sith Marauder, and then I put Vader in there. All them for the AoE debuffs and the fact that Traya will heal you whenever any debuffed enemies are damaged. I figured I should constantly be healing and constantly be debuffing and doing damage, right? But maybe it's just because Spirit's in there and I haven't fought too many Spirits. A lot of people keep those for offense. But this team right here with Asajj lead, and then you got MT and Daka, and then Zombie, and then Spirit, it puts in some work. Like, it is a stout defense squad. I know people like to use Imperial Troopers on Nightsisters. I can't imagine bringing in my troopers to this fight. Like, that shit ain't gonna happen. This is a Traya team, and it's solid Gear 12 with solid mods. I mean, everything. Everybody's sped up and got good protection and all that where it should be. Scion has right now a set of full 6E mods. I took my tank mods from GK when I was running Jedi Revan teams in the arena and just swapped them onto Scion because I've been using him in the arena. And look at him. I mean, he's hanging on by a thread and he can barely heal up. He was taking a ton of damage, and they're just Nightsisters getting to go time after time, and I'm not getting to go and do much of anything because I guess, they take away turn meter, and then I get stuck behind Zombie's taunt for Nihilus's Annihilate, and it's like, man, I have a stout team, but, there went Scion, and they're putting in work on my Traya, and it's like, man, if I lose her, that's Isolate gone. That's, helping to decrease Nihilus's cooldowns. I mean, she's pretty important. And there goes all the, debuff cleansing and stuff. So, don't really want to lose her. But it's like the rest of my team is taking some huge damage. So, I go and isolate Zombie there. That way, I can at least put some work in on somebody, Try and get Nihilus to drain force, heal everybody up a little bit. Also increase the cooldowns. My Marauder is pretty decent. I've upped his mods because of Revan, and I kind of use him in the arena. And I like him, but I mean, look at that. Look at how many times these Nightsisters get to go. So, and normally my Traya team will just walk all over some Nightsisters. But his were pretty well modded. I mean, like I said, everything was Gear 12. This was definitely a top team. Like, if I wouldn't have had my Traya team, I don't know what I'd be doing. So, look at that. Now it's down to just Traya and Darth Nihilus. And he's got all of his, he's got 4 Nightsisters left on the board. and I got a minute left on the clock, and I was like, man, I might lose this thing. I gotta think of something, I better do something. So annihilate Daka there. Now he's just got MT and he's got Spirit. And I got Zombie isolated so he can't keep stealing the taunt away and be able to, make you take the focus off somebody. And now you can see I flipped my auto on and I'm just trying to do my moves as fast as I can because I'm under a minute and I got 3 characters to kill. And I don't get to move. It's like they get to move twice for every single time I get to move. But there went Spirit, got MT down. Now it's just Zombie. Still 20 seconds on the clock. Trying to move fast as I can. Trying to move as fast as the auto can. And there goes Annihilate. 49 banners for that one. It was ugly, but I'll take it, man. A win in one is all that mattered to me at that point. Didn't want to go a second battle. So cleared that off. That just left his old Ben team in the back. That's the last one that I had to worry about. He hadn't moved besides the initial one team in each zone that he'd cleared. So let me show y'all how that last battle plays out. I went ahead and took in my Bastilla team. I got Ezra in there, got a Hermit Yoda, Old Ben for a tank, and then I went ahead and threw my Thrawn in there because I still had him, so might as well use him, you know what I mean? And at least with Bastilla, she's going to have the tenacity and the protection up. She'll be able to soak up some good hits. The whole team will, actually, because of that protection up. But at least this way I can have Thrawn to help manage who I can fracture and kind of take out of the puzzle for a minute, and also to top up some protection if they indeed get their bonus protection taken down and swap turn meter to where I need it. So that's all I'm doing here. You can see I just throw Master's Training, got that on Ezra. Just keep working on doing the basic heal with Hermit Yoda so that they get turn meter. And then knocked out Old Ben. Trying to focus on his Ezra there, because Ezra can be a pain. He had the Zeta on him, I think, and he does a bit more damage that way. Once you get rid of him, there's nothing, because then he's just got Xeris, and what's she gonna do by herself? So that's all I'm doing, trying to do that, and also trying to see if I can keep as much banners as I can, because I was worried about that, going down to banners where, what if my opponent's more efficient than me? I think that he would go multiple battles on some of the squads that I put down, but if he doesn't, what if he tries to 4-man something? I don't know. You gotta watch out for that now, because that's how I lost the one that I lost a while back. But 60 banners for that one. None of them got below their bonus protection that wasn't topped off, so that was that. So this was how I ended up. When I got done, I had 1723 points, and he still hadn't made a move. So I was all done, and I went out for a night on the town and figured I'll check back later and see if my opponent does anything, see what happens. So I did check in with my board a little bit later in the evening, and guess what? My opponent had gone in and cleared my side of the board, but he did it less efficiently. My 1723 to his 1710. He did not go 2 battles on any of my squads that I thought he would. So he did them all one and done, which was good on him, but he was 13 banners behind. So, hey, I'll take it, I win that round. Moving on to round 2. We'll see you guys in the next round. Shout out to my buddy Mikayas. He runs a modding service. He'll go through, make sure you got the right squad compositions and the right mods on the right characters. Give your account a real nice tune-up. I'll put the link to his Discord in my description. Go ahead and check him out. tell them Indigo sent you. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share your comments down below, and hopefully you'll check out my other videos on my channel. Peace.